So I want to talk to you first about national politics. I saw you quoted the other day in the New York Times talking about President Obama, saying, you know, a lot of candidates are dealing with this problem of like how to deal with the fact the president's not very popular. And you said that you thought, well, all he should do is go to black churches, and that just focus on his African American base. Everything else was too risky. Was that the right tactic, the right strategy?
There is no question Barack Obama is singularly the most inspirational, driven person of color in this nation. He's that inspirational for young people almost as well, and for women. With that in mind, that should be his role. He should be going to every place where there is a woman or somebody young, or where there are African Americans, whether it's a black church, the beauty shop, the barber shops, fraternal organizations.
So do you think it's a mistake for so many endangered Democrats in close Senate races to not want any part of him? I mean, they When she did that, all I could think was there's got to be a way in which, even if you don't want to say, I voted for Barack Obama, you don't want that soundbite. You got to figure out a way to say, I disagree with President Obama on X, Y, and Z. But if you're asking me whether I voted for John McCain or Mitt Romney, of course I didn't vote for them. I voted for the nominee of my party. It doesn't seem that hard to answer the question that way.
All she had to do was compare Obama to the guys running against him, and the results would be a no-brainer.
Who's a better politician, Barack Obama or Bill Clinton, and why?
Bill Clinton is the best politician of our time, period. He, first of all, really lacks people. He pays attention to people, not intellectually, but emotionally and spiritually. And he has a knack of being able to be the bartender in any setting. He can be the quarterback on any team. He can be the chef on any kitchen, whether it's Subway or some other place. Obama has none of those skills. Obama is an intellectual, really talented, a good deliverer of lines written by himself and others. Bill Clinton is so superior in all those respective categories that I don't think it's even fair to compare them. They are totally a different species. Bill Clinton was born to be a politician. Obama was born to be an intellectual.
How is it that a guy who can be as successful in politics as he's been, be someone who I think what you're suggesting just doesn't like people very much? I don't know very many good politicians who don't like people. And he's been, again, on the basis of the record, he's been a pretty good politician. He got elected and reelected president.
Well, the business of really loving people means you're almost like a door-to-door salesman. You could take whatever you're doing and make it interesting for the human being you're talking to. Obama doesn't have that kind of skill. Obama really is rather standoffish. He's shy. And when I say he doesn't like people, I may be doing him somewhat of a disservice. It may be that he is so shy and so hesitant to interfere, so to speak, whereas Bill Clinton considered it his obligation to interfere.
Have you spent a lot of time with President Obama? Personally, like
Both.
Time?
Both.
Right. I know you spent a lot of time with Clinton. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about Obama, though. Obama's first time visit California to San Francisco, he's running for the U.S. Senate in Illinois. I was his host. We raised as much money for him in San Francisco as some of the people did in Illinois. And believe me, that relationship commenced as part of our black network nationally. The guys who had the network are kind of from Atlanta, Georgia, and they were the ones that called and said, we need you to hook up with this guy named Barack Obama. I said, oh yeah, what is he running for? And they told me. I said, first of all, nobody named Barack Obama is going to win anything. What's his real name? You know, Cassius Clay, what's his real name? And he said, no, it's Barack Obama. No way. But he's going to call you. And sure enough, guy calls me and says, I'm Barack Hussein Obama, and I understand you say that I'll have problems with my name. I said, in downstate Illinois, there's no question you have a lot of problems with your name. Well, period. And we laughed about that. And then when he got elected president, he remembered that. And when he called the BS with me, he announced President-elect Barack Hussein Obama. And every time he sees me, he reminds me that I think he should have the name Willie Brown rather than Barack Obama.
That's pretty funny. Since we've already decided that Bill Clinton is the best president, or the best politician ever. Who's a better politician, Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton?
Hillary.
Better. Why?
Hillary. She graduated.
She what?
She graduated. In February of 2008, she was at her lowest ebb. If she had had the political skills she now displays, Barack Obama never would have been president. He would have been her vice presidential candidate, and he would be now thinking about the presidency. But she was so riveted on distinguishing herself from her husband, and his numbers were not as good. His popularity was not as good. She was almost reflective of what Al Gore did in 2000 when he foolishly threw the presidency away by rejecting Bill Clinton. She has grown tremendously. She's grown in part because of her Secretary of Stateship, her U.S. Senate membership, plus the fact that she's just gotten older and wiser, and she now knows that she does not have to apologize for anything or anybody. She suffered through every humiliating factor that would cause you to need to be evidence humility. She's done it. And in that category, she has now emerged as a first-class politician, and probably the best ever from a woman's standpoint.
Okay. Do you think there's any chance that Democrats are not right now headed for a pretty significant repudiation at the polls in a week from now?
No. The U.S. Senate, when the dust clears on November 5th, will be in the hands of Democrats. Period. Just go state by state. You're not going to lose North Carolina. That lady, Miss Hagan, is not going to lose North Carolina. There is no way some guy named Scott Brown on a motorhome is going to win in New Hampshire. That just isn't going to happen, period. Mary Landrieu is indigenous to Louisiana. She's like whatever they serve on hot sauce down there, and no matter what you do, we're not going to lose that seat. And believe it or not, Michelle Nunn, if the turnout is what I think it's going to be in Atlanta and in Georgia itself, if 30% of the African Americans who are eligible to vote go vote, you're not going to be able to overcome that on the Republican side. Michelle Nunn is going to win in that open seat. Pryor may be at risk in Arkansas, but he's got Bill Clinton ringing doorbells in Arkansas full time, and that's got to mean something. And then what's going on in Florida is it's really bizarre. And then finally, the Republicans got to really worry. That independent in Kansas may very well knock out that incumbent. I'm telling you, a combination of all those things tells me Democrats are still going to be in charge. And I think Nancy Pelosi has got an outside shot in the House side. She needs a net of 17. When last discussed with her, she was down to 5 that she was still open about toward the 17. And believe me, it is not going to be a national election. The Republicans are trying to make it a national election. They're trying to say that you're voting against Obama, no matter what state you're in. Forget your own individual candidate. The Democrats are making you realize it's your individual candidacy, not Obama.
You are the most bullish on the Democrats' chances of any single person in the United States. And I have to tell you that if the Democrats actually end up holding the Senate, and let alone if they end up retaking the House, you will be seen as Nostradamus on Election Day because of this interview. I swear to God, that will be, man, I now just hope it happens just so that we could have found the guy who could see the future.